Yo, gamers, what's up? It's Demon12 back with another video. I don't know why I even opened like that. Anyways, here it is. There is a new character that's being drip marketed for Honkai Star Rail called TRIBBIE. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Probably pronouncing it wrong. It looks to be three characters in one. It's like three of the same character. TRIBBIE, Tryan, and Tryon. I think that's how you pronounce his names. But the important thing here that we all care about is this path and element here. She is Quantum Harmony. Now, we already have a current Quantum Harmony that's currently under, though, a questionable time period with the release of Sunday and, other supports having their teams and whatnot. And so a lot of people aren't so favorable about Sparkle, currently, right? And now we have another Quantum Harmony, who I am very interested to see what does, because right now Harmony characters are insanely powerful, like on release. But in Sparkle's case, kind of like, I wouldn't say fell off, but has been pushed out due to the fact that Sunday and other characters enable you to use Robin a lot more effectively, who has basically been at the pinnacle of the game since people realized how she actually functions and or ways to help her function better, right? And one of the biggest drawbacks that Robin had to begin with at her launch was most characters couldn't make use of her because she was too SP, inefficient for your team. Now that Sunday is released, all those characters that couldn't make use of her now can, because Sunday is either SP positive or at least SP neutral in, regular use, right? So it's definitely interesting to see the current state of the harmonies, because it's always Sunday Robin for like 90% of hypercarry teams. And then if you're running a break team or like an Acheron team, you would run, your Nihility, your debuffer plus your break units. So like Ron May or like MC or whoever it may be in Fugue, the most recent example. And the one other team that doesn't do this is Follow Up, which is kind of like a Death by 1,000 Cuts team. And then you've got your one, carry that's doing a big, like the big chunk damage whenever they get their ultimate up and all that. So yeah, this is gonna be very interesting to see her position, because right now the Follow Up niche is still taken over by Robin, right? Basically every Follow Up character in their optimal team uses Robin, and it's really hard to like replace Robin, because with that team specifically, she's already giving them, like over 1,000 attack, action advance, 50% damage bonus, and like the 50 or no, 45% crit damage. Might just be 40. I could be mistaken that, but still, Robin is insanely powerful in that. And then of course, her being used as Sunday is making her take over all the hyper carry teams. And Sunday already is taking over basically all the hyper carry teams with I don't think there's even an exception to that. I think even in Dan he's taken over, because you can just basically pull him back up and do your full burst, and he's got better skill point gain than Sparkle with his light cone and all that stuff, right? So yeah, without me yapping too much about the other harmonies, TRIBBIE has a tough competition in the current state of harmonies, right? And just to like extend what I was saying, it's like, Break has Rome, got Fugue, it's got MC, and then of course Acheron just has Jiao Cho, right? Now, this does beg the question, is this a character that's going to be specific to a certain type of gameplay, like summons, right? Or is it going to be a character that's more generalist, like kind of Ruan Mei, except how you get extra bonuses for, summons, right? Which seems like the way they're going, because that's what they did with Robin, right? And the same thing with Sunday, right? Where Sunday works, but you get even more if you use him with summons, right? Now there's something to be, worth noting, right? So we actually go in the game, right? Just to sort of look at everything. There has been a recent set released in terms of relics called Lushaka, I believe is how you pronounce it, of the Sunken Seas, right? So this set is going to give you buffs based on your position of the actual character, right? Which is slot 1, or the team lineup, right? And in case you don't know what slot 1 is, the one on the left, or the very first one on the team screen, right? You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, like so, right? And so that set is giving you buffs based on the character's position. Now, theoretically, this could be a character that does the same thing. Now, obviously, we have no idea of how if it's gonna be like a 3-in-1 scenario, like how that's gonna work. But maybe they're doing a set that's based on, or doing a character kit that is based on that thing, position-based buffs. So maybe she's giving different buffs based on the position in battle, right? This could be very interesting, especially if she's doing like team buffs and not like single target buffing, because if she's like, oh, if you put this character in this slot, right, it could do a different thing, like give them a pin bonus, or this person gets damage percent, or this person gets crit, right? It'd be very interesting to see how the buffs actually work if that is the case, especially in the case of characters like Adventurine, who want to be placed in that middle slot, but you also want to place your DPS in the first slot so they can get the attack buff from the sets and whatever TRIBBIE does, right? So she's gonna ideally be placed in slot 2 or 4, right, because of that. And so that would also affect team building, depending on how her buffs work, it's like, hey, maybe slot 3 exclusively gets defense percent or something like that. I don't know, right? So there's a lot of ways they can mix it up there to make her more unique and have an interesting kit. But of course, it's Harmony, so the animations you can't go too crazy about, right? I wouldn't say any of them have like the most insane animations since they all primary buffers, right? Um, but yeah, there's a lot of potential for a kit. What it could be if it's either locked behind remembrance, or if it's going to be more niche thing, or like what I was saying with the position based buffs, right? Um, and so yeah, very interested to see what she does purely based off her kit. Design wise, I actually do like it. While I'm not a huge fan of like the lolly type characters, this one reminds me of Elysia and her like little elf, right? That is basically a copy of herself. Reminds me of that. And they also made, if you played Honkai Impact, I don't know the character's name because I stopped playing that game, like a Mars, I think, version of her with like red hair. Reminds me of that character, right? And so, yeah, and plus, I just like the gold, like the white and gold. My name's Gold Demon, right? Like that should be obvious. I really like the style here, and so genuinely, I think it's a pretty cool design for a character that typically I wouldn't like, right? And of course, hey, bonus 3 gremlins on the battlefield. Who can really be upset about that, right? So, hopefully, Kit is something worthwhile for those getting it. I don't plan on summoning for her, but if her kit is broken, then I will try to get her. We'll see. I kind of ran out of summons because I've been acting goofy, and I also got bad luck. Free to play life. It is what it is. So yeah, I am looking forward to more releases. Obviously, we're gonna get another trip marketing tomorrow. I expect one of the men, right? Because that's gonna be one of the more or that's gonna be one of the characters that I think was earlier on in the trailer, right? Like My Day, for example. So he'll probably be tomorrow. But who knows, right? What I'm really looking forward to is, because I'm a huge fan of Acheron, a future Nihilde character, right? Because to this day, Acheron still performs great, despite what some people say, and she is still missing her full premium lineup, right? Now she has had a interesting lineup switch or addition that I do want to talk about in a separate video, with Fugue right now releasing, allowing you to get some extra spicy combos going on. But I can't really say past that because, of course, like team lineups can change with E2 Acheron. And so, would this character, based on those position based buffs, be really nice for E2 Acheron? Who knows, right? So yeah, there's a lot of interesting things to bring about her kit. Like what I've been saying, harmonies on release have always been crazy and very sought after. And right now we've got some of the most important units in terms of the game, in terms of like your account, are harmonies, right? Being like Robin, in some cases Sunday, right, and like Rome. So yeah, there's a lot here, and I'll just leave it at that, right? I don't want to make this video too long, just a bit of speculation talking about the unit. Let me know what you guys think down below about this unit. What are you hoping for out of her kit? And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and don't forget to like, subscribe, check me out on Twitch. It's in the description. And in my Discord if you want to join and yap about these games, whatever game. It is what it is. And yeah, see you in the next one.